Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dina Hype coming back to you guys with a brand new video, and I hope you guys are having a great day so far. And today's video, guys, gonna be seeing is we're gonna be covering top 5 most famous banned video games of all time. Now, as you guys know, whenever it comes to banned video games, there is a certain line that we have to draw of where it says this game can be rated M for mature and allowed to the public, and then there are games that basically cross the line. They go to a point where either they cannot actually be released to all public, or they need to like draw a line where it says you can play this game, but do know this is what you're going to get if you purchase the game. Now we're going to be covering 5 games. I'm not ranking these from this is the worst and this is the best like banned game, or like this is number 5 but number 3 is more ban worthy than number 5. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just giving you guys 5 games that I found on this article, basically showing you guys games that pushed it a little bit too far whenever it comes to making sure that this could be rated E, but this is more than even rated M for mature. This is rated like off the scale. Now, like I said, this is off of an article, so there's going to be a description to why these games are on here and why they are ranked in these certain spots. I personally did not write anything in here, so if it says something that you guys say that is not true about the game, that's just what it says. I'm going to be pretty much reading off of the article. If you guys do not agree with anything, I'm going to leave a link to the article down in the description. So if you guys want to head down there and read it by yourself, you guys can do so. Or if you guys want to read it along with me, you guys can do that as well. But we're going to go ahead and get straight into things. So before I go any further, please remember, if you guys are brand new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on before you guys click off the video. And also, if you guys are going to enjoy this video, do not forget to hit that like button. It's always much appreciated if you do so. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, like I said, if you guys want to go ahead and head down into the description and read the article by yourself, you guys can do that now. But the title, whenever you get there, will say the top 5 most famous banned video games of all time. It says here, as video games have evolved over the last decade, certain ones have drawn the line from many due to their violent and graphic subject matter. We've compiled a list of 5 video games that have gotten the most backlash from their community. It says here, the interactive nature of games have made them a prime target for critics who claim to represent the interests of children and teenagers. Interactive violence, they say, leads to actual violence. While the research on this topic has yet to provide a conclusive answer, numerous governments have taken action to ban games they deemed too violent or too inappropriate for their younger mind. Some titles have been subjected to more attacks than others. It goes on to say some have even left a mark in the history of gaming, especially violent and ban-worthy. They have been written into the all-time Hall of Infamy. Of course, the bans were no match to the freedom provided by the internet. Gamers used to all kinds of tools to overcome these restrictions. For example, a good VPN service allows you to access titles restricted even if your country with ease. It says here, but for many gamers, the bans themselves are not the main point. The issue from their point of view is that certain groups of people are trying to impose their moral views on the creativity of others. This has been an ongoing debate that will go on for quite a while, and the current trends are of any indication. Now, here are the top 5 games that stand at the forefront of this decision. Now, before I go any further, I want to go ahead and point something out. I made a video a while back, I believe it was a couple months ago, but it basically goes on to say, I basically kind of discussed the fact of games were getting banned and why they're getting banned. I'm going to go ahead and point something out. If it is a game that is rated M for mature, stores should not be like just handing out the game. You have to be 18 or 17, whatever it is, to purchase the game. So if you see a kid walk up that's like 14 years old, you should easily be able to be like, kid, where's your parent? Like, if kids that age are able to just walk into the stores and buy it, that is not the game developer's fault. That is the store's fault that they're just handing this game over. So that the government needs to not be asking the developer's fault and telling them, hey, you need to pull this game off the shelf. No, they need to be asking people like GameStop, Walmart, Target, stores that sell the game, that they're just literally handing these games out to minors. If you are above age, that is your choice of what you're going to do with the game. I see it as this. Just play the game. Don't act like just because in GTA 5 you see people running off of buildings, jumping down, parachuting, shooting cops. Just because you see all that, that should not make you want to do it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling and let's get straight into this. Now to start off here, we have a first one, which is Grand Theft Auto. It goes on to say here, it's impossible to make a list of controversial games without refreshing or referencing the GTA franchise. Every time a new game that's from the series comes out, it's surrounded by controversy. There are various legal issues regarding it. For example, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was banned in Australia because of a modded sex minigame. But for the most part, critics have focused on the violent nature of the series and the way it glorifies criminal life. Each GTA game puts the player in the role of a career criminal involved in car theft, kidnapping, murder, drugs, and more. Some parts of GTA were banned or censored in countries like Brazil, China, Japan, Malaysia, South Korea, Thailand, and many others. Now, the point that I want to get across with this game before I move on to the next game is they say that they need to censor things because of sex and like drugs and killings and stuff like that. They need to remember there are literally TV shows that kids can literally, if their parents have TV, which I'm pretty sure every kid, like if they have a TV, they can easily just pull up a mean and just nasty movie or a TV show and watch literally whatever they want. In a video game, you have to actually have your parent go out and buy the game for you and bring it home to you. The parent will be able to know if this is a bad game or not. A TV show, a kid could be sitting in their room just watching the game or watching the movie for all they know and just having a good old time, and the parents would never know. But just wanted to go ahead and point that out for you guys before anybody goes ahead and doesn't think about that, because video games are the same exact way as movies whenever it comes to the violence and the bad nature. But moving on here, we have Mortal Kombat. Now it says here, the original offender, the granddaddy of violent games, a fighting franchise with a history spanning several decades, Mortal Kombat has not escaped its fair share of issues. The games quickly became known for their over-the-top violence and aggression. Many countries took a defensive stand toward early entries in the franchise and banned them from distribution. For example, Germany deemed Mortal Kombat 2 harmful to young people and has banned many Mortal Kombat titles since. This may have been posed a problem back in 1994, but today German gamers can access the full uncensored game version with the help of a VPN too. It should be noted though that things have relaxed a bit in recent times. The global media has stopped paying attention to the series to a large extent. It has also happened with profanity on TV show South Park. People just kind of got used to the absurd violence of Mortal Kombat. There hasn't been a major incident surrounding the game in a very long time, and most outlets seem to have forgotten about the franchise. Next up, we have South Park. Now, you're probably saying South Park wasn't that always just a TV show? Well, you'd be mistaken. There was also a video game of it as well. It says here, it should be no surprise that the South Park video game was criticized for its controversial nature, even less so when one considers that Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of the TV show, were directly involved in its production. The game series, spanning 2 games released on console and PC, in addition to Phone Destroyer for mobile, we're counting only the good ones, managed to offend nearly everyone upon its release. From mocking religions to using sex and violence as a platform for jokes, the games pushed every button. The first edition of South Park, The Stick of Truth, was never sold in Europe in its original version. The producers were forced to censor parts of the story in response to demands from the European Union. It goes on to say they still managed to insert a snarky remark in their usual style referencing the situation. However, it was a major controversy around the time of the game's release. Many were surprised that a South Park game could face legal issues in the current day, and yet it did happen. Now moving on, the next game that we have on here, it's not that bad of a game in my opinion. I personally love this game. I played it a little bit back whenever it came out, but I haven't played it in a while. But next up, it is Manhunt. Now it says here, the basic premise of Manhunt is one of the most controversial ones ever brought to the table. The player assumes control of a murderer on a violent rampage. The main gameplay revolves around finding the most brutal way to execute each person on the level. There's a strong focus on melee weapons with a large variety of tools for the player to use, from baseball bats to broken glass shards. Some have described this game as a psychopath's dream. It was banned in several countries immediately upon release and remains unavailable in many of them to this day. Fun fact, the official court in Munich confiscated all versions of Manhunt since it glorified visualism and portrayed killing as a fun activity. Things got worse when the sequel came out and was made much available on the Nintendo Wii. The console featured an innovative control scheme that allowed players to simulate using their hands in many titles. The controls of Wii combined with the gameplay of Manhunt prompted many critics to put their foot down. The developers were forced to tone down the violent content on the game before releasing it. An uncensored version still found its way to the internet sometime later and added to the controversy. Last game we have on this list is Postal. The basic premise of Postal was supposed to be humorous, but the actual execution of the game was seen as too violent and tasteless by many. It depicts an average person going about everyday task before going crazy or postal. Most levels involve going on a rampage around ordinary neighborhoods and causing mayhem to their residents. Postal 2 was the installment that took the franchise to another level by being played entirely in first person and upping the violence considerably. Unsurprisingly, Postal 2 was banned in New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia, Germany, and Sweden. But the real punishment came out when the series was eventually turned into a movie by the controversial German director Uwe Boll. The film was received a lot of criticism, with reports that even the original game's creators were disappointed by. In any case, Postal managed to move beyond the controversy and has received some updates in the last few years. Now you're probably saying, what is the takeaway from all this? Well, let me explain. In the years since the release of many of these games, things seem to have calmed down a large extent, or have they? Whenever a new collection or elections are around the corner, or the media seem to be having a slow day or month, they all remember violent games. So while game developers are becoming bolder and more relaxed in their themes they pursue, it wouldn't be surprising if another controversy was brewing right in this moment. Games are more immersive than any other medium. They provide a wonderful interactive experience for their gamers, but for the uninitiated, games are an easy target when they can't think of another. Now that's going to go ahead and do it for the top 5 banned games of all time. Let me know if you guys think there is a worse game in the comments. I do believe there's probably a worse game. It's just I can't really think of any off the top of my head, and I do have some ideas, but I don't know if you guys probably think so as well. If some of these games are worse than what I've just released. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these games, if you guys think they deserve to be on this list. And also, if you guys went on to enjoy this video, do not forget to hit that like button. It's always much appreciated if you do so. And also remember, if you guys are brand new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on before you guys click off the video. As well as if you guys want to follow me on any of my social medias, links to everything are in the description. So if you guys want to hit me the follow, everything is down there. And if you guys want to help benefit me very greatly and help benefit the channel, you guys can do so by clicking the links in the description down where my sponsors are. And you guys can go and cop yourself some cool stuff off of my sponsors' websites and use the codes to get yourself some discounts at all of the websites. And as well, if you guys want to go ahead and cop yourself some of the Hype Nation merch, you guys can do so by clicking the links in the description down where it says merchandise. You guys can head on over to my website and you guys can get yourself some of the Hype Nation merch. It's not required, but if you guys want to rep the brand, feel free to do so. But without further ado, guys, it's been your boy Dina Hype. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.